Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by Artesian head coach Carter Whitson. The Artesians make it 4 straight with the big win on Friday night over the county rival Mooresville in the Battle of the M. Martinsville retains the Big M trophy with Mooresville with a big win over the Pioneers. We're going to talk with the coach about that victory over Mooresville, and we'll also look ahead to the Artesians' final regular season game coming up on the road at Plainfield on Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about sectional coming up as well, since we'll be off for fall break next week. Coach, though, you ran to 4 in a row with a big win over the Mooresville Pioneers on Friday night.
Yeah, it was good to get that win. 4 in a row, 1 in a row. It was just good to get a win on Friday night, especially in a rivalry game. They came down here. They hadn't had a great year so far, but anything can happen in a rivalry game. So our kids really prepared hard for this one and wanted to put on a good show for the senior night that we had. And I think, we came out healthy and we came out with a good win.
You mentioned the senior night. Let's talk a little bit about those seniors. You had kids that contributed in the game, but we talked about it last week. Those guys really important to buy into what you guys were doing this year so you could kind of get things going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's been a great group. Small class, 14 guys that just bust their tails and do everything I ask them to. Sometimes with a new coach, you'll find the seniors get left out and we're just rebuilding this year, and they kind of give up early. That was not the case whatsoever with this group. They wanted to change things. They wanted to be the foundation of the new Martinsville Artesian football, and they've accomplished that.
You were able to get the victory over Mooresville. This is a game that kind of starts out, however, that both teams kind of trading blows back and forth, and then kind of midway through the second quarter, you guys go on that little run that you've been doing the past couple of games.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever you play somebody that, their coaches get to watch film and they get paid to call plays too. So they had some good stuff go on for them early, and our coaches did a phenomenal job of adjusting, changing up defensive scheme. Completely different offense than Whiteland, but very similar storyline. They come out and score pretty early, and then we change. So defensively, they shut them down pretty good for the rest of the game. They got some big plays late that we don't even look at stat-wise. I thought the defense did a really good job.
The defense did a nice job, especially in the takeaway column. You guys were able to get a couple of interceptions and also able to take one of those interceptions back to the house.
Yeah, and should be another one back to the house, and should be 2 more interceptions, but some sympathy flags got thrown out after the ball was already in our hands. If you go back and watch the film, that I wasn't really excited about. But defense did a great job taking the ball away, creating havoc. Coach McKinney always talks about the flying monkeys. That's exactly what he wants out there, a bunch of guys going crazy and getting points on the board too. That was great.
Able to get some points on the board. The offense also able to get some points on the board. I think at one point you guys reel off 5 straight touchdowns there as a team offensively, and the pick 6, I think, that capped that off. So the offense able to get moving again, score some points, and again, we've talked about it, I think now 3 weeks in a row, it's those big plays that are leading to some points.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday as a staff. We're watching film of opponents before our game, and then they come out and most of them are doing something completely different against us. That's why we always just worry about ourselves, worry about what we can do, make sure we're executing. Mooresville came out and tried to play us man-to-man, and we were really excited about that because we felt like our kids were better than theirs on the outside, tried to stop the run, which I thought we did a good job of still pounding it a little bit to make sure we had those one-on-one matchups outside, and those guys did exactly what they're supposed to do.
Able to get some points, able to get the win on senior night, and also able to maintain control of the Big M trophy that has been around, I think, now for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it was really cool. Rivalry games are awesome. Trophy games are awesome. Kids were excited to keep the M. We're building a little frame for it to keep in our locker room because we got to act like it's not a traveling trophy. It just stays here. That's the goal for the M.
You guys get the victory over the Mooresville Pioneers. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from the contest on Friday night against Mooresville.
Here we go, defensively right there. Senior Josh Tomlinson with the interception. Was really hoping Josh could get in the end zone. Seth leading the way with a great block. Just gets caught by a speedy receiver from behind. Then we go fast, up tempo, put Travis in the game, run the ball. He finishes with a quarterback sneak. Great push by the O-line. Back defensively, our DNs, there's Chase Haviland right there making a play. Ben Marino had a good game. Inside, those two interior D linemen had a good game too of stopping the run. Gave up a few runs that we shouldn't have, but you know, that happens. Great play right here by Brian Johnson. New wrinkle we threw in this week out of that formation. Haven't thrown the ball to the tight end out of it, and he made a great play on the third down to get that conversion. And here we go back to working our one-on-one matchups outside. Matt Thomas had a great day, and so did Corbin Williams right here, of just, you know, beating their guy one-on-one and finishing when the ball was in their hands. Matt had a few touchdowns. Corbin had a bunch of receptions for yards. And then here's Darius again, another senior, getting in the end zone. Touchdown from Jonathan Collier, another senior. So really good to see. These two have found a good rhythm together. There's a long play to Darius. Was hoping he could come away from that guy, but the guy had the momentum on him. So that was a good big play. Want those to get in the end zone. But it set up this long play action. Look at the protection. Look, he's got all day to throw that. He throws a post over cover two. Shouldn't happen. But, you know, that's a testament to our O-line of blocking. There we go. There's Logan Byram disrupting plays on the inside. Had a great game. And the DNs continue to make plays. Here we go with another play action shot. Thought the kid made a great play on this ball. And Matt Thomas had great concentration to come down with that big long catch. That kid was playing tailback and corner. We tried to pick on some guys that were playing both ways with tempo, and he's a good football player, but we did a good job of taking advantage of that. Finishing the drive right here, Jonathan, you know, sees a little pressure, gets out of the pocket, throws a strike to Matt Thomas. Matt getting in the end zone, awesome to see. And here, you know, here's what Jonathan could do. He can make some plays with his feet. He's one of the better athletes in our school. We love it when the ball's in his hands, whether he's throwing it or taking off running it. And that's what he does right there. It's another senior there, Corbin Williams. Corbin's playing some tight end. Andy Myers will come in and play some receiver. We have some weapons that can do a bunch of different things, not to mention our pile of tailbacks that we have. Brandon Dodson, Travis Griffey, Isaac Osborne are doing a great job. You know, it's awesome to have a stable back there of guys that can make a bunch of plays. Here's Billy Bias. Billy Bias had a huge game, stepped up, played a lot of defense. Which was the first time that we really did that. But, you know, once they threw the ball around on us a little bit early, we decided to get some more athletes out there on the field, and Billy stepped up and had a great game. Get another great ball right there to Matt Thomas. Wish he stayed on his feet to catch it, but it set up another play-action pop. You know, Matt keeps getting better and better. If he keeps practicing better and better, he'll be a big-time college football player. And there's Darius finding the end zone. This is awesome to see on just a quick little short out. I think our guys just wanted it more than their guys, and Darius got in the end zone. Really good to see. Had some sacks, had some interceptions. This is what Martinsville defense is supposed to be about. That's Andy Myers with the interception. You know, Andy came in, played some offense, played some defense, went too high safety look. He stepped up and had a huge game. I mentioned Billy Bias and Andy Myers. Those are two sophomores that we're really excited about their future. There we go, having some excitement after a turnover. Got to create more takeaways. Really need to do that well this week. There we are, stopping the run with about 9 guys. Awesome to see. Travis flying around in there, hitting somebody late. Another interception right there by Andy Myers. Is this the one he gets in the end zone?
Yep.
There's Andy where he's getting in the end zone. That's what we needed more of. He had opportunities. He had his hands on the football all night. That's good to see.
Able to see all those highlights, like we said, a lot of those packed in there. Big plays offensively, big plays defensively that lead to the big win over the Mooresville Pioneers.
Yeah, then, you know, we've talked about it all year, big plays. Whether that's takeaways or long touchdown catches or long touchdown runs, big plays help us out a bunch.
Now let's fast forward here to Friday night. You guys are going to go on the road. You've won 4 straight. You're looking to make it 5 in a row, and you'll face a tough test coming up on the road at Plainfield.
Yeah, Plainfield has a great program. They're very big. They want to run the ball at you. They've had some guys, you know, some change of who's playing, some different positions, but they've got it to where, you know, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, who the running back is. They run the ball at you. They got a good O-line. That's their focus, and that's what we have to stop.
when they come out and line up, and you've talked about some changes that you may see at quarterback, you may have an injury at tailback, so you're not really sure what you're going to see, especially with the tournament coming up where this isn't a do-or-die game and they aren't in the hit hunt for the Mid-State Conference crown, so you may not know what you're going to see. You may have the decision to kind of rest people as well if you're a coach. That's something you have to think about.
Yeah, we talked about it. They drew Decatur Central in the first round, no bye. So we thought, is there two ways to look at this? They need to go out big on senior night because they have a really good team coming in week 1 of the playoffs, or do they rest guys and get ready for that week 1 of the playoffs and try and pull off an upset? So, we think they'll come out and play hard regardless of who's in. These guys are going to play extremely hard, especially for their seniors. That's extra motivation like our kids had last week. But we like to go in, we went to Whitland and beat them on homecoming. We like to go in and upset people, so we're excited about the opportunity.
Plainfield offensively, you talked about if they like to pound the football. They've got running backs, one I think that's close to 1,000, another that's at about 500 on the season. What are we going to see them formation-wise, how they're going to line up on Friday on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, with the change of quarterbacks, they've gone to a power running game, a lot of wildcat with number 13 or number 21 playing quarterback. Number 19's played some quarterback. Number 16 came in last week because of an injury. He was a former wide receiver, better athlete that can scramble around and make some plays. But you're going to see some jet sweep out of the shotgun, running some power, running some counter, kind of, pound it, see if they can break one. That's kind of what we think, but we're ready for them to come back out with their original quarterback and spread it out, too, like they were early in the season.
And this is a team, too, that wants to kind of control the football. They want to have the football in their hands and take some time off the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a very similar game to Greenwood. We needed to get a few stops on Greenwood because that's what they were going to do. They were going to get 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, and first down. That's what these guys are going to try and do. We got to make those big stops, get them in 3rd and long, and see if anybody can throw the ball for them.
Defensively on the side of the ball, we've talked about what Plainfield's going to do offensively or may not be able to do offensively depending on who they have available. What are we going to see out of them on the defensive side of the ball?
A little bit of a funky defense. They have a 3 down front with a huge D tackle that tries to plug up both A gaps, and then they can bring outside pressure from either way. So even if they're not blitzing, you don't know where the 4th rusher's coming from. So they give us a little bit of a challenge there for our O-line to see something different. But like I said, everybody that we've played's done something different versus us than they have versus the other team. So we're prepared for a bunch of different stuff. Might see a little bit more cover two, some trap stuff, similar to what they were trying to run here last year where they're reading number 2 receiver instead of the outside guy. So playing some combination stuff that we're going to try and take advantage of.
Knowing what you think they're going to do offensively and defensively, what are the things you guys are going to have to do to counter Plainfield on Friday?
Yeah, we talk about it every week. We got to stop the run. We got to get them in 3rd and long. We're going to bring some pressure and create some havoc defensively. And then offensively, we're really going to have to run the ball well against these guys. They have an odd front, so we got to run inside zone and outside zone a ton. We got a tempo and pretty good. We think we can take advantage of those guys with tempo and then take care of the ball. We talk about it every week. There's base fundamentals of stopping the run and taking care of the ball. We'll feel good about it after the clock runs out.
Trying to get the win, the 5th in a row for Plainfield, build some momentum for sectional. Like you said, Plainfield has the opening round game. They don't get a bye. You guys, on the flip side, do get a bye. It coincides with our fall break here. What are the plans right now for what you're going to do over that fall break? Or are you kind of waiting and seeing what happens on Friday?
No, we've talked about it, and I sent a message out actually to most of our parents today, and there's no fall break for football players. It's football season. So we'll adjust the schedule a little bit. We're going to practice a few times, lighten it up, get a good lift in, and just get ahead on some Franklin scouting. So it's football season regardless if we don't have school or not. It's playoff time. Need to lock in and keep getting better.
And we won't be here to be able to do the show, so just a quick look at Franklin. I know we played them a few weeks ago. You got the win, but some things that maybe concern you out of the Grizzly Cubs coming up.
Yeah, they keep getting better and better. We do have fall break, so and they have an off week too, and then we come back to school, so we might actually get a TV show in before then. But they're getting better and better.
Yep.
Coach Cole's going to do a great job there, playing some young guys, but it's tough to beat anybody twice. they're going to come in knowing exactly what we want to do against them and see if we can adjust to their adjustments.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck coming up on Friday at Plainfield.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, that's head coach Carter Whitson here inside Artesian football. Martinsville coming up on Friday, looking to make it 5 in a row as they travel to Plainfield to battle the Quakers, and then they have the week off. We have a week off. We'll be back with a show, like the coach said, coming up before the Franklin contest as Martinsville gets so ready for round number 2, really. Their first game, though, of the IHSAA Class 5A sectional. As always, I'd like to thank the head coach for coming in for Carter Whitson, along with the 4th period broadcasting class who produced it. I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Artesian football.
Hey!